Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Myst Ryft tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you guys in a brand new world. I've never actually stepped foot into this world, assuming that my server shifted over like it's supposed to. And we're going to start from the very beginning, and how you get started, and really what you should do in your first, basically, day or so. Now, if you're one of my multiplayer players, and you're seeing this video, effectively, you guys have Rookie Island. We made Rookie Island, and we've kind of shown it off in the live streams. Effectively, you guys have that as an added benefit. I'm going into a world that I don't even know if it's going to be day or night when I get in here. So, let's go ahead and get started, shall we? So the first thing you're going to usually want to do with these is you're going to want to legitimately sit and press escape and let it just kind of load for a bit. Because in all honesty, this mod pack's huge. We will be thinning it down a bit, but it does have a lot of things that are going to load right at the very start. So, upon doing that, gonna kind of get a grasp of your land. Kind of look around, get an understanding of... I need to set that back down. Get kind of an understanding of what's around you and kind of get a feel for it. So what I always like to do first is kind of try and get to a high point if I can, like for instance, get up on top of a tree. And get kind of a look at the land, like see what do you got here actually, you know, because you kind of want to set up near water, but you don't need to necessarily be on water. You can see you got some sort of white tree over there. You know, I mean, like, just kind of get a grasp of where's a good spot to set up. And worst comes to worst, if you don't really know, look for somewhere familiar. I know that sounds weird, but legitimately, look for something familiar. Like, okay, this looks kind of like plains. Alright, so I want to set up near water because I'm probably going to want to do farming way earlier than I should. So, maybe I'll set up here right on this little peninsula thing. So, you're going to first do yourself a favor. Take everything off your hotbar except for your axe, sword, shovel, mattock. And the bow, if you're good with a bow, and this little sheep fella. You gotta keep the little sheep fella or else he will not produce wool for you. He is actually here to go over a few things real quick, what each thing's here to kind of give you a link to. The inventory pets is to show you that, hey, it's possible to get these little friends. They do things for you, and as long as they're fed, they do great things. This book and this item frame here are intended to give you these early, or way earlier than you could get them, so if you want to jump into Ars Magica, you can. This air compressor is to show you Pneumaticraft. This bread is to show you Pam's Harvest Craft. Mystcraft, Tinker's Construct, arrows, Minecraft. And then this Chocopita is to show you Chocobos. And the idea here is that these should be enough linking materials to get you to eventually expand and explore all of the different things. Now mind you, it's starting to get close to night, so we need to move. So first things first, take your lumber axe, and as you do with most Minecraft worlds, chop you down a tree. So, nice thing about this pack is it has what's known as Fast Decay. Small little server mod that basically makes all leaves immediately decay. So for instance, ba-doop. This saves you time because eventually you will get to where you have very, 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 very large trees. And that's not even a joke. Like, there will be trees that are just ungodly huge that when you chop down, you will lag out. Now mind you, you're going to notice I have waypoints. That's because I'm still playing on the same server IP as when we did our... when we were doing our multiplayer Let's Play. This is going to be single player, just to effectively show you guys all the basic beginning stuff and what you need to be looking for and kind of where you should go. So, the first thing you're going to want to do is get you a good helping of wood. Like, wood is going to be your primary resource for a very long time. And since we're wanting to set up on this here little peninsula thing, or not peninsula, what would you call this? Some sort of riverbank? I'm going to keep each of these recordings hopefully down to about 20 minutes so that you guys can watch when you want to and not have to be burdened with, you know, how far into the video I am or anything like that. So, effectively, this is where we're going to make home. Probably make home in the lake, just for funsies. Funsies? Did I really just say funsies? Ugh, getting old. So, I accidentally picked up some seeds. So, you're going to create a crafting bench, and then you're going to make it a crafting station. The reason you want to make this a crafting station is the fact that when you put items in it, like for instance, normal crafting bench, they just fly out. But if I put this in here, notice it didn't go flying out, and it's still there. Right? So, what we're going to do is effectively we're going to make ourselves a little base. And said little base is really just kind of where we need to get started. Like, this is clay, so we don't want to cover that up. This is sand. Just make it like right here. Right? Now, you can go as small as, for a base, as a 3x3. And I'm talking literally 3x3, you stand in one block, this is your safe zone. Right? You can do that. I don't recommend it. Because for me, claustrophobia is kind of a thing. So, that's something, you know, you don't want to have to deal with. Don't, right? Make your base a little bigger. What I usually start off with at the very, very start is I start off with roughly about this size of a building area. So that you can really work with about anything you need to. What we'll do is we'll start with this as our base, and oh, we have goats. Yay, goats. And then I always build up 2. Now, if you hold shift and walk around, you can literally just instantly place 2 blocks down at a time. Now, mind you, what we're about to do, we may eventually want a door out, right? So we're going to make this 4 high. The reason that we're making this little box here is effectively to give us a small bit of shelter. We'll expand this shelter as we go, but the idea here is to follow a basic principle of Minecraft. Don't be out at night. If any of you have ever watched Minecraft parodies, I'm sure you've seen the song, Don't Mine at Night, right? Well, this mod pack is a very, very good explanation of kind of why you shouldn't mine at night. This mod pack will kill you. And it doesn't have any qualms about it. It does not hold any, like, oh, you're a rookie, let me, you know, throw you some punches. No. It will kill you at night. The first night is usually the worst. Because if you don't get a base built fast enough, you will have problems. So, another thing to make sure that you're keeping up with is your food. Notice at the bottom that you have your food bar. Your food has to be maintained. You will starve to death in this mod pack on every difficulty level, other than peaceful, obviously, but peaceful or creative, but that's because you're not intended to die in those. Another cool trick you can do is take an oak sapling and an apple, combine them, and you have an apple sapling. So this is the first night. Kind of just, you can either just wait, or if you're really brave, you can actually dig down a bit. Find some materials, and what we'll do is we'll make some ladders real quick. We'll make that much of ladders. Because the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to get a base going. So this allows you to get in and out of your mine pretty easily, pretty quickly. Because the thing is, what we're going to be doing down here is we're effectively going to be taking our shovel, digging a little bit, seeing if water's going to spawn in or not. Which it's not. So then we're going to go a little further down. Probably 1, maybe 2 blocks. And then we're going to be mining up this cobble. The reason we need the cobble is to make a furnace. In making a furnace, let's see what we'll do is we'll just have that. You want to try avoid jumping as much as you can. Because when you jump, you expend extra food. And right now, food is a precious commodity. You want to make sure that you don't expend too much. So what we're going to do is we're going to mine out. About 8 blocks of cobble. Just real quick. Quick and easy. Just to make the most basic Minecraft tool known as a furnace. Once you have a furnace, just slap it on top of your crafting table so that you have more room, because remember, we're working with really limited space, right? We're going to take these birch logs, which I saved intentionally. We're going to burn some sticks. Also going to probably burn some planks. If I remember right, it takes 2 sticks to make 1 charcoal. Yep, 2 sticks, 1 charcoal. 1 charcoal will burn 8 pieces of wood, which in turn will make 8 pieces of charcoal. Which you need those charcoal to light up your base. Because the thing is, if you were to go down and start doing massive mining, in here becomes a spawning zone. Because once you get 20 blocks away, effectively this place is now a hell pit, basically. And that little nom 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 noise you just heard is actually your sheep eating. Little cutesy sheep here. Yeah, he eats, he blinks, he lives. He's a cute little pet. So effectively what we're going to do is we're going to take these. We're going to take 2 of these. Get 4 sticks. Take 12. We're going to take 1 more. And make 16. We want a total of 16 because you're going to use 1 here. This lights up your room. Aesthetically wise, you may want to put another. I don't know. Everybody has their own aesthetic choices that they like. Me personally, I like the idea of the... Is this finished? Yeah, okay. That's finished. I like the idea of having mine symmetrical. But, like I said, everybody will have their own ideas and wants and needs for what they think is right. So, first objective, survive the night. Survive 1 night and get some torches up. Pretty simple, right? So the next thing you're going to want to do is go back into your mine. And we're going to look for gravel, if we can find it. If we can't, I'll show you guys a way to get around gravel. We're just going to kind of take a leisurely little stroll here, though. Just a happy little stroll through our nice little mine here. Sorry, I've got Bob Ross on the brain. Doesn't look like we're going to see any immediately. So, and just like with anywhere else in Minecraft, if you get 20 blocks away from this and it's dark, it can become a spawning area. You don't want spawning areas. So what we're doing is effectively we're going to light up these areas so that they cannot spawn. So this mod pack has a lot in it. I mean, there is a lot in it. Now, some people have come to me and said, oh, it's broken because like certain things don't work. Well, effectively, everything in the mod pack should work in tandem with everything else, but there are going to be some very heavy restrictions. It's not intended to be I hate to say it, a happy-go-lucky mod pack. This mod pack is intended to be challenging, be very robust in what you can do, and if you expand out well enough, you can really go in almost any direction. Oh, there's the server lagging a little bit. Must just about be time to save. Hide those old waypoints because that is really annoying. So we're gonna go up here. We're gonna check the time of day. Still dark, not quite too terribly dark, but still a little dark. But we couldn't find any gravel. So what do we gotta do? Well, the easiest thing to do is to create what is known as a hammer. Now, hammers are great in the instance that I don't necessarily recommend making stone ones, but it's the material I have extra of. Hammers are great in the instance that they allow you to get materials that you don't naturally have. Meaning, if you can't find gravel, you can get gravel. Can't find sand, you can get sand. You know, it allows you to find all these different things. By the way, the reason I'm doing this pattern is if you hold it tilde, vein miner. And boom, now we got some gravel. So in having gravel, you put 3 gravel together, instant piece of flint. The reason these things matter, though, on a more basic level, is that knowing how to get these basic materials will be how you progress forward. You have to be able to have at least a basic understanding of Minecraft to be able to succeed in this. So, like, let's say, for instance, I put all this stuff away, right? Which you can do. I'm going to take back out my wheat to feed my little pet because I need to get 3 wool. We're at 2. But if we were to take this hammer, both these hammers, in to the mine, right? With our... give me just a second. Cobble. Okay, and we go down here. And we just hammer blocks. Instead, we're going to get stone chunks, right? So it's not necessarily worth it to do it that way. Now, you can also hammer iron ore, but watch what happens. It becomes iron chunks. I mean, it's a way to get around the limitations, yes, but I don't recommend it because you actually lose a lot of ore. So, like, for instance, here, we're mining out some copper with this hammer. Now, the wood hammer, however, will not do ores very well. It'll do them, just not well. But why am I showing you guys this? Well, it's effectively to give you an understanding that while there are limitations on you, it's not so harsh as to say that it's impossible to move forward, right? But if you want to get the gravel to be able to get your own ores and be able to get more things than just the ores that you find in the world, like, for instance, right now, yes, I can get this iron, which I'm going to. It's a guaranteed iron source, but I am losing some iron in doing this. It's back to day, so we're going to go back outside and start our next day task, because you, effectively within the first few days, you want to get at least a general base set up. So, what we're going to do, I'm just going to go dink, 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 and make sure that this is lit up well enough. It is. And now we're going to start day 2. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.